Meeting called to order. Will please stand for the salute to the flag. Freeholder Johnson, will you lead us in the salute?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Beasley, absent. Freeholder Bobadilla.
Present.
Freeholder Clark. Here. Freeholder Gill.
Here.
Freeholder Johnson.
Present.
Freeholder Luciano, absent. Freeholder Owens, absent. Freeholder Vice President Siebel. Here. Freeholder Prisoner Watson.
Here. Okay, I have before me certification from the clerk that this meeting is in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Madam Clerk, are there any topics of discussion?
Madam President, there are none.
Okay, Madam Clerk, we move to the agenda items for action only. Let's go to the public comment session again, on agenda items for action only. Tonight, we will only be voting on two resolutions, that's Resolution 1 and 2. So if there's any member of the public who would like to speak on the two resolutions, please come to the microphone, state your name and affiliation, and you have 3 minutes to speak. You can change the vote when you get it. Oh, do we have anyone from the public who would like to speak? Okay, Madam Clerk, let the record reflect that there is no one wishing to speak at this time. Okay, if there's any member of the public who would like to speak on any issue, please come to the microphone, state your name and affiliation, and you have 3 minutes to speak. That's on any issue. Okay, Madam Clerk, let the record show that there's no one wishing to speak at this time. Madam Clerk, are there any ordinances or resolution on second readings?
Madam President, there is one for listing only.
Okay, then, will you please list it then, Madam Clerk?
Okay, would you like me to read it into the record?
You can, that's good.
Ordinance number O-2013-00012. Ordinance amending Ordinance O-1988-00039, establishing the Essex County Veterans Advisory Board.
Okay, Mr. Sherrill, I know we discussed this resolution at our meeting in Irvington last month, but for the record, please just explain it again and tell us why you're requesting action.
Yes, Madam President. We are just basically amending a ordinance that has been on the books since 1988. The only thing this ordinance will do will apply the terms for the members to be assigned. It'll be a 15-member board, and they'll have 3-year terms, and to start them off, each term will be staggered.
I know you held a meeting on your DARE population control meeting last Monday afternoon. Do you have any comments or questions at this time?
Thank you, Madam President. Just a quick comment. We held a committee meeting on Monday. As you noted, it was attended by my colleague Freeholder Luciano, and Freeholder Siebold was in attendance as well. Just 2 quick points that I think were stressed during the committee meeting, which I think are important to put on the record. We heard extensive public comment from members of our conservancies who very much encouraged the county to continue with the hunt. They spoke specifically about the regeneration of our forest, and what the hunt continues to mean in terms of that process. In addition, the issue of public safety with the increase in disease and ticks, which are carried by the deer population, was also highlighted during the meeting. So the purpose of the committee meeting was to allow both sides of the issue ample opportunity to be heard before the full board took action tonight. So I wanted to thank everyone again who participated in the administration for making the time to be there. There was also, Madam President, a letter, I believe, which was sent and introduced at the hearing from the Conservancy, a letter addressed to the administration, which I don't know if it was provided to the board. If it was, I would just request it through you, Madam President, that the clerk share that copy of that letter with the entire board if it hasn't already been.
Okay, for the record, Freeholder Luciano is present. And Madam Clerk, we can read that into the record at this time before this resolution into the record before I ask for comments from the freeholders.
Resolution 1, County of Essex Extraordinary Unspecified Services to provide deer management consulting services. Daniel Bernier, 1 year from date of award, $10,000 agreement.
Okay, freeholders, do you have any questions or comments? None? No additional comments, no questions? Freeholder Sipo, did I see your hand? Oh, okay. Freeholders, do I have a motion and a second?
I'll move that, Madam President.
Okay, moved by Freeholder Luciano, do I have a second?
A second.
Second by Freeholder Gill. No further questions, no comments. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Beasley, absent. Freeholder Bobadilla.
Yes.
Freeholder Clark. No. Freeholder Gill.
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson.
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano.
Yes.
Freeholder Owens, absent. Freeholder Vice President Sebo.
Yes.
Freeholder President Watson.
Yes, so moved. Okay, let's move to Resolution 2, Madam Clerk. The administration is requesting action on this tonight as well, so please read it.
Resolution number 2, Department of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs, Board of Chosen Freeholders, approval of community-based deer management permit application.
Okay, Mr. Sheller, you want to, I know we discussed this resolution also when we had our meeting in Irvington last month, but would you just explain the resolution again for us?
Yes, Madam President. As in the past, as part of the process for the deer management program, a permit application must be submitted to the state as a requirement of NJSA 23442-3, and this is merely that permit application to conduct the deer management program in South Mountain and Hilltop Reservation.
Okay. Freeholder Gill, I know that this information, probably we discussed this in your deer management meeting. Do you have any comments before I ask a question from the freeholders?
Nothing additional, Madam President, from my earlier statement.
Okay, very good. All righty, freeholders, do you have any questions or comments at this time? No questions? Freeholder
Just a comment through you,
Luciano?
Madam President. Before we vote on this, I do want to say that Mr. Bernier is here. The resolution that we just passed, Resolution 1, and I was fortunate last year to have an opportunity to see the deer management operation firsthand. I was invited to go down to their facility. I think it's run very thorough and very effective, and there are representatives from the New Jersey Department, I believe DEP, that actually come and help with Mr. Bernier's operation in managing the deer by testing them, and I was able to witness that, so I just wanted to put that on record before we vote.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, freeholders, additional comments? If not, do I have a motion? I have the same mover, same seconder that moved Resolution 1.
Yes, I'll move that, Madam President.
You seconded, Freeholder Gill?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Beasley. Absent. Freeholder Bobadilla.
Yes.
Freeholder Clark.
No.
Freeholder Gill.
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson.
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano.
Yes.
Freeholder Owens. Absent. Freeholder Vice President Sebel.
Yes.
Freeholder President Watson.
Yes.
So moved.
Okay, let's move to Resolution 3. Mr. Shiala?
Yes, Madam President, this is our Division of Training and Employment, sub-grant agreements to 2 Workforce Investment Act service providers to provide for out-of-school youth programs, amount not to exceed $102,020. There are 2 vendors. Essex County College will receive 30 slots for basic skills in the amount of $52,200, and La Casa de Don Pedro will receive 25 slots for GED in the amount of $50,000. These contracts are all-inclusive, include instruction, supervision, equipment, materials, as well as follow-up, and it's for ages 18 to 21.
Okay, let's take 4 while we're at it, and again, from the division, this is from Citizen Service Division of Senior Services.
This is our annual grant application to New Jersey Transit for our senior citizens and disabled transportation program. This is funded out of the Casino Revenue Fund. I would like to highlight that this is a formula, or the funding is based on a formula that has been established, and the special transportation is for non-emergent medical appointments, dialysis, employment, food shopping, nutrition sites, as well as recreational activities. This is a reduction from last year's allocation. Last year, county received $1,471,408. This year, our application is for $1,316,700.
Very good. Okay, freeholders, question, comments on Resolution 3? And comments, questions? 3. Freeholder Vice President Sebel.
Thank you. I have a question on number 3. The amount of money is coming from grant, it's grant funded. Can you tell me where the grant is coming from? Is it a state grant?
I know Julius Mumford is here, and he could probably best answer that. Mr. Mumford?
Good evening.
Will you state your name for the record and the department that you
It's all
represent?
Julius Montford, Manager of Client Services Division of Training and Employment. The Workforce Investment Act is a federal grant that comes down through the state. So it's federal funding for, there's 3 parts. There's youth, then there's Title II adult, and then there's unemployment. This is the youth, this is the out-of-school youth between the age of 18 and 22. So it is a federal grant passed through the state to down to the county.
Very good, thank you very much.
Okay, Freeholder Clark.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Montfort. Thank you, Mr. Chilella. Now, the 2 agencies that have been selected to handle this program, or to actually, do the program on behalf of Essex County, are La Casa de Don Pedro and Essex County College?
Correct.
Okay. And how many slots are each getting again?
Essex County, I believe, is getting 50, and I believe La Casa is 25.
The class is getting 25. Okay. And how are we monitoring
25.
who those slots go to?
Well, just like...
Is it like a first come, first?
It's based on the same principles of whether if you was a Title II adult or unemployment. It's 18 to 22, you come through the one-stop. And those individuals who fits the age category, who goes through the one-stop and becomes a part of WIA, is those individuals who goes into the program. But what happens is, by the federal government guidelines, we are required to provide what's called core services and basic skills for out-of-school youth, which is those youth who have dropped out. We must give them basic skills. We must offer them an opportunity to get a GED. So this is a federal requirement. So it's basically first come, first serve, based on the number of slots we have.
Okay. Yeah, because, that's why I'm saying 25 is really not a lot.
Yeah.
And so when it's that few, you always wonder how you pick
who gets what. So we'll just take a look, and once those slots are filled, would you please just kind of give us an idea of what's going on? Ask the agency to give us just a little update on it.
Not a problem.
And in particular, also the Essex County College program, because Mr. Chilella, as you remember, and Madam President, that was the program that was the subject of intense scrutiny, a lot of conversation, and I really want to know how that program is going, because I really would like to know who's doing that program. I know Essex County College is doing it, but who within the college is doing it, and how is it being done, and what are we transitioning any of those kids? Because in previous years, at least some of those kids got an opportunity to actually go on to attend college.
Correct.
So now the question is, what's going on with that, and what will be going on? Because we don't want a drop-off. We don't want it to be just a program where you got people, names, you got 60 slots or 50 slots, and we don't see any outcomes. But thank you very much.
The way the contract is structured, I'm quite sure it's performance-based, and we should be able to get those outcomes and report to the board as requested.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President.
Yes, and I think that was the question that I asked early on in leadership. I wanted to know if the same program we had some discussion on last year, if that particular program still exists, and will the slots be given to that particular program, or if it's a new program that those slots are going to?
Madam Chair, I do understand
You
that.
understand which program
I do
we're talking
understand.
about?
It is part of the same program, the Essex
Okay.
County Youth Resource Center, the same responsibility. And I understand that there were some concerns with the program. There has been conversation. There have been meetings about restructuring the program and what's going on with the program and the outcomes. So we're hoping that this year, the outcomes and the discussion of remodifying the how it's ran and how it's structured will be better than it's been in the past. So we're looking forward to a better year.
Very good. Okay, very good. And you said there was 50 for the county and 25 for the CASA?
La Casa.
Is it 100%? Why is it 75? Wouldn't it?
Through you, Madam President, I think it's actually 30.
I
Mr.
may-
Mumford misspoke. For the
Okay.
college, it's 30 for the college and 25 for La Casa.
Okay,
I
I'm trying to
apologize.
understand. So that would be
55.
55? How do we get to 55, Ralph? I mean, it wouldn't be, I mean, would you take the 102,000 and make that 50%? I mean,
Well, when you do a RFP or bid, you can never contract with more than what the responder responds for. So if that was in the contract of that La Casa will serve X amount and Essex County College will serve, we can never ask them to do more than what's required, because now we're in breach of contract, because we're asking them to perform on what we didn't ask them, what they didn't request from us.
right, and for that 100, then they have to perform, and you could not to exceed the $102,000 with each contract. Even though you have it split up between two different agencies, you still cannot exceed the $102,000.
Correct, because what happens is if, let's just say, La Casa falters or closed down, we're able to deobligate that money and shift it to Essex County College to continue servicing that population. So if something should happen in that manner, we won't exceed that amount, where if there's a problem and we have to shut down one place,
Okay,
and they'll
I
be able to
understand
keep the other one open.
That makes sense. Okay, very good. Mr. McInerney, you have any questions on resolution?
Not on this, no,
4,
Madam
3?
President.
Okay, Freeholder, question, comments? Thank you so much. On resolution 4? No questions, no comments? Do I have a mover, to have a motion to, and a second for, to take resolution 3 and 4 together?
I'll move it.
Oh, I'm sorry, this is a conference board, listed. Okay, we've had so many Okay, and again, this is a conference meeting. We're not voting only on the two items that we voted on early on. Okay, let's take 5 and 6. Mr. Shallow?
This is a contract for Sugar Properties to provide landscaping services, a 16-month agreement. The various buildings that will be included is the Hall of Records, the Hall of Records Annex, the new Courts Building and Courtyard, the Leroy Smith Building, the Historic Courthouse, our Juvenile Detention Center, our Public Works Building, our Economic Development at 50 South Clinton, and this is a 16-month contract. Resolution number 6, contract to S. Rotundi and Sons, the lowest responsible bidder to furnish leaf removal and loading and trucking services on our county roadways, September 25th, 2013 through September 24th, 2015, amount not to exceed $359,780. These leaves that are removed from the county roadways will be taken to the South Mountain Reservation site that is operated by S. Rotundi for this project.
Okay. Freeholders, questions, comments on Resolution 5? Mr.
Madam President.
McInerney?
Yeah, these are pretty much landscaping services for buildings around this general area, around our campus here.
Through you, Madam President, as I listed, that includes the Hall of Records, the new Courts Building,
Right.
the Leroy Smith, the Historic Courthouse,
Okay.
the Juvenile Detention Center,
So it's
Public Works, and 50 South Clinton, as well as the old daycare center in Cedar Grove.
Up in Cedar Grove. Do we still provide landscaping services? Does the county still provide landscaping services through a contract on the iris gardens?
Through you, I'll have to get back to you. I'm not sure if that's a contracted service or if that is part of the agreement with the Iris Garden Society if they maintain those beds. But we will get back
Yeah,
to
I'm
you.
just curious if we still pay for that.
Okay, Mr. McInerney, are you asking for a written response on that? Are you
He could call me.
satisfied?
You just
He
have
could
to-
call you.
Yeah.
I think, Freeholders, do you feel that you would like to have the answer?
Yeah, you can
that
put that in writing.
Yeah, just put it in writing, so the Freeholders would hear the answer that you're giving, Mr. McInerney. Freeholders, Sebo?
Thank you. Mr. Chair, for the record, could you just state how many potential bidders there were and how many actual bids came in before Sugar was selected?
There were 6 bids that were received.
Potential bidders,
There were 34 potential bidders.
but 6 bids actually came in.
That is correct.
Thank you very much.
Okay, additional questions on Resolution 5? Resolution 6? Questions, comments? Okay, Madam Clerk, we list 5 and 6, and Mr. Shallow, we're going, from 7 through 13 on the agenda is all budget insertions. So we'll take all of those budget insertions together. You want to start with 7?
Yes, Madam President. The first one is from the Department of Labor, and that's for our Workforce Learning Link program in the amount of $79,000. This will enable our workforce link to provide ESL, customer service, as well as basic skills, and these services are provided at our Learning Link Center. Resolution number 8, revenue from the Department of Human Services Family Development Program in the amount of $656,607. These funds come to our Department of Training and Employment, and they provide intensive case management, oversight for clients who have been receiving benefits for over 60 months. Resolution number 9, revenue from the Department of Labor Again, for our Department of Training and Employment, $1,086,890. I would like to point out that this is additional funds that the county has received, and this is as a direct result of the Sandy disaster. As you know, the county had already received roughly $1.9 million. We are now receiving an additional $1 million, and this is to fund participants to continue on with the cleanup efforts. And these staff or these employees will be funded through January 29th of 2014, and every position is filled. Resolution number 10, insertion of revenue from the Department of Human Services. This is commonly known as our HASAC, and this is for the area plan for senior services such as home support, access, community support, as well as nutritional services, and this is in the amount of $2,080,165. The county has already received currently for this same program roughly $5.1 million, and the latter part of this year will receive the final insertion. Resolution 11, revenues from the State of New Jersey Department of Health and Senior Services for Senior Farmers Market Nutritional Program, $4,250. As this board is very well aware, the county does offer senior farmers markets throughout the summer, as well as next week we'll be conducting our senior wellness program up at Cody Arena. Seniors are eligible for food vouchers or vegetables and fruit. This $4,250 is actually for the administration of those food vouchers for that particular program. And Resolution 12, revenue from the State of New Jersey. This is general operating support for our Parks Department in the amount of $10,872. And this primarily is to support high-quality, diverse educational history programming and development of projects and services. Last year, the county received roughly $12,000 for this program, so it's slightly less going forward. And finally, Resolution 13, insertion of revenue from the Attorney General out of the Highway Traffic Safety Click It or Ticket Program for our Office of the Sheriff, $4,000. This primarily is a reimbursement program to provide for educational seatbelt enforcement.
Okay, very good, Brad. As I stated early on, we will be listing 7 through 13 insertion of items relating to our 2013 county budget. So we'll start with question comments on Resolution 7. No questions, no comments. Resolution 8. Resolution 9.
Question on Resolution 9?
Yes, Freeholder Gill.
I think with Resolution 9, Ralph, it's an extension of the existing program. The temporary, the slots that have been filled, have they been allocated in the same manner per municipality? Is there any increase in slots?
Through you, they're basically the same formula that was utilized for the 120 participants participating in the program. This is primarily providing additional funding and extending the end date.
The end date of their current employment. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. Resolution 10. 11. 12. 13. So again, we will be listing 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Let's move to Resolution 14 through 25. All commendation resolutions. Freeholder Bobadilla, will you move the resolutions? And Freeholder Gill, will you second?
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is conference. I don't know why I'm trying to move these items. Thank you so much. We're going to list again, resolution 14 through 25, 14 through 25. Again, Madam Clerk, you can list the resolutions. Madam Clerk, do we have any added starter resolutions? We got ordinances at this time? Okay. Okay, that's not on mine. Let's take 26 and it's my sponsor. You want to read that?
Yes. Resolution 26, proclaiming September 2013 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month in Essex County, sponsored by Freeholder Watson.
Okay, that, any questions, comments? I think that this speaks for itself, the resolution, Freeholder.
May I be added to that resolution, please?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
And also Freeholder Johnson. Okay, the resolution, again, as I stated, speaks for itself, and we will list along with resolution 14 through 25, resolution 26, Madam Clerk. Do we have any added status resolutions?
Madam President, we have none.
Okay, do we have anyone who would like to speak? We go into public comment session at this time. Do we have anyone from the audience who would like to speak on any issue? No one present to speak under the comment session at this time, Madam Clerk. Okay, Freeholder, let's go into other business. Do we have any other business, Freeholder, that you would like to present at this time? The administration, do you have any comments or anything you'd like to present to the board?
No, Madam President, just that I did announce during the food voucher resolution that next Tuesday is the county's annual Senior Wellness Day that'll take place up at Cody Arena, and all seniors of Essex County are welcome to attend. Roughly, I believe it's 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. They'll be receiving a lunch. They'll also receive, as I mentioned earlier, fruits and vegetables as part of the farmers market program. There'll be plenty of vendors there to educate them on various healthcare options, and it's always been a very successful day, and we encourage the freeholders to stop by and say hello.
Very good. Okay, let me just apologize to Freeholder Bobadilla. I really tried to get here this evening. I heard that the program was just really, really outstanding, and you did a great job. And I would like to have you to indicate to the honorees for me, speak to the honorees for me, and tell them I say congratulations, and I'm so sorry I missed the ceremony. Okay? Yes, you may speak.
You know, in my address to the honorees, I told them that you would have been joining us and you had another matter, but I understand. But let me tell you something. There was no doubt in anybody's mind that you're part of this board. We're all a board as one, and I think they know that and they felt that. And you know, and I just want to say to the rest of the colleagues, thank you for supporting this resolution last year, because it's so important. We have all our cultures that make up not only this city and the county, but this state and the United States of America. And I think that we should take the time to really recognize those individuals, you know, of all different races and religions and colors, to, you know, acknowledge them for what they contribute to our community and really trying to move, you know, everybody forward. So thank you for supporting that resolution, and I'm sure it will be growing, because it was an amazing event.
Yes. And you know, this is the first year that we've had the Hispanic Heritage Month celebration, and I want to commend you for bringing that to the board. And again, I do apologize for not being present, because I really, really wanted to be here this evening. And I think we have the next Heritage Celebration would be
Yeah,
with
3
Freeholder
weeks, yes,
in
Madam
3 weeks.
President.
And we look forward to that celebration, Freeholder. That would be called the,
It's going to be co-sponsored actually by myself and Freeholder Gill.
okay,
We don't want
Freeholder.
to ever forget that Freeholder Gill's mother is of Italian-American
Oh,
descent.
that's right, okay. You get to do it twice, right, Freeholder Gill? Okay, very good. So we look forward to that celebration also. Very good. Okay, no further comments, freeholders, no other business? Do I have before we go, thank you. I've had a long day today. Okay, we will go into the freeholder questions, public comments from our freeholders meeting on September 11th. We had individuals, Mr. Jack McEvoy and Jessica Pearson of 20 Montclair Avenue from Verona, as well as Mary Purcell of Westview Road, Verona, expressed their opposition to and concerns about a proposed development project currently before the Verona Planning Board, and to excavate and then construct a building on the property at Bloomfield Avenue in Verona. They specifically expressed concerns about extensive blasting very close to existing homes and public utilities that is expected to last 90 days and which will pose inconvenience to residents, disruption to traffic on Bloomfield Avenue and local residential roads, potential damage to nearby homes and infrastructure, and have unknown environmental consequences of their statements. So they did leave their statements and we reviewed them. We sent the information to the administration. The administration we sent it on the 12th. The administration responded on the 16th, and the letter response was sent to them on September 17th. Freeholder Blondie Watson asked the administrator to look into proposed development projects to see what, if anything, the county might be able to do to assist the residents. So my comments went to the administration on the 12th on the response we received on the 16th, and the letter, my response to the residents went out on the 17th. And Mr. Douglas Freeman spoke about holding parades to honor veterans on Chancellor Avenue and to acknowledge veterans at Memorial Day events in Weequahic Park. He also expresses intention to speak to the Veterans Advisory Board about such plans. So we did send the memo to the administration on the 12th. On the 16th, the administration is still looking into that before they respond to you, and we hope to have that response later on during the week. Am I right, Mr. Shallow? We should have the response to Mr. Freeman hopefully by the no later than Friday of next week. Okay. Mr. Viva White of 152 Court Street of Newark, New Jersey, expressed her concerns about the death of an inmate in custody at the Essex County Correctional Facility, and asked the board to look into it and take more interest, and for the administration to be more attentive to the violent nature of certain inmates when determining which are housed together. The memo was sent to the administration on the 12th. The administration responded. The response was sent to us on the 16th, and the letter was sent out on the 17th of September. Freeholder Blondie Watson asked the administration to determine what information, if any, might be released to Ms. White about the death, which is currently under investigation. The memo was sent to the administration on the 12th, the response on the 16th, and the letter was sent out on the 17th. That ends all of our freeholders' comment session, that those that appeared before the board on September 11th. If there's no other business, freeholders, I think this is one of our shortest meetings. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Got it.